talk about Elon, right? So obviously, you're a part of the Tesla Club. You've done some collaborations with them, some things. I'll let you speak on it. I won't. But you've done quite a bit with Elon and what's happening with Tesla. Let's talk about the Elon effect in Austin. But give us your rundown on what you think the good, the bad, and the ugly is for Elon with Tesla and all that good stuff.
Yeah, so just a little tiny bit of background. I founded the Tesla Owners Club back in 2013. I met Elon at the Capitol when they were pushing for legalization of direct sales. Did a little bit of support there, gave rides to the press, and then hung out and had happy hour with a few Tesla owners. There were a handful in town back there, and then we've grown it to a couple thousand members. And we're the official arm of Tesla on the owner side. And then we kind of support in a grassroots way the company. And then, there was rumor that Elon was going to bring a Gigafactory here probably 5 years ago. Nothing really came of it at the time. And then a couple of years ago, we had heard a couple of things that were interesting about Hutto. And then we actually suggested East might be an interesting place to look. And I didn't have anything to do with the land deal. I would have loved to, but they were looking for a direction to go in, right? And I think keeping it 20 minutes to downtown instead of 40 minutes to downtown, huge difference in attracting talent to be able to pop into downtown in 20 minutes down 71. And just the growth that I think we're looking at, ABJ's kind of got the numbers a little skewed. They're saying the current Gigafactory is 4 million square feet and 5,000 people at full capacity. There's actually 4 stories in a lot of the factories. So there's 11 million square feet of HVAC factory space and closer to 28,000 people at full capacity. So they're currently hiring, numbers I'm hearing, about 300 people a week right now. They'd like to get to full capacity within 18 to 20 months.
So you're saying their initial thing was that they were going to have 10,000 employees in Austin. You're saying it's probably going to be double that, or potentially double that, if not more.
If not triple.
Right.
Yeah. And that does not factor in, that's phase 1. So if you look at the Gigafactory site, you could build 5 more Gigafactories on the site that they have currently at 71 and 130. In addition to that, there's been land purchased for Boring Company. I believe they've announced SpaceX as well, which makes sense to consolidate everything into this town along the Bastrop corridor and along the 130 corridor. So it's sort of out 71 and up and down 130. And so, you're looking at all Musk industries coming this way. I think we're going to have, forget Central Texas. I think Elon will be the biggest employer in all of Texas by the time he adds his numbers. I think locally, HEB is the largest employer. Of course, that's, down to Checkers, right? And so that's 22,000 people just in phase 1, which I believe there may be more than one phase coming from what we have currently at the Gigafactory. We're looking at 28,000. By the time you factor in SpaceX, Boring Company, I guess Twitter potentially. I have not heard about the space or what that could look like, but we're probably going to count 35, 40,000 people that work for Elon within Austin area.
I think when Elon had first tweeted about the Gigafactory and hiring 10,000 employees, there was already a subset of employees here, or that had planned to be hired. I think that was just a ramp up phase. Plus, those particular people were only here for part of the build out. We don't know what the long-term hires were going to be, right?
So full self-driving engineering team was already here. There were a few things that were small campuses that were already here. And then initially Gigafactory for a while was kind of stalled at 3,000 to 4,000 employees. But if you don't ramp up and get full production on Wise and then Cybertrucks right after it, and batteries, you need to get those bodies in place to hire. Yes. So I'll show you. That one's cute, Ian. How about this one?
That's the only Cybertruck I could afford. I had to 3D print it myself.
This is the RC car that goes like 40 miles an hour. It's ridiculous.
I love that, man.
So the ramp up and what's to be expected is going to be robust. And obviously, how does that play into housing? Because there's, workforce housing that's going to be a challenge. And it's a challenge for Austin no matter what. Our development code is, arcane and convoluted to say the least. And I think there's a massive need for something that, people can afford when they move here. 3/4 of the people working at the Gigafactory are going to be blue collar, factory workers. Where are those folks gonna move to, and where are they gonna live? They're gonna number close to 20,000 of that initial hiring tranche. It's a lot of people to absorb.
Astro, man.
How many? Yeah. How many of the employees do you think they're going to hire directly out of local schools?
So that's an interesting one, and this is something that they haven't really touted. But Elon and Tesla has currently got a program with Del Valley ISD, and they have about 300 senior applicants that come through in their senior year at Del Valley, and they're bringing on about 40 to 50 students each year, and they're working directly straight into a full-time job or part-time if they want, and their community college is covered, so they can go to school and get a full-time job at Tesla straight out of high school. They're also putting in Tesla-specific robotics programs within the high school, so these kids at Del Valley High School can actually learn on the actual robots they'll be using within the company.
Dude, I had toured the high school just to see what was going on, and they had to see the robotics platform they were already working on. This was pre-Tesla, and it's just crazy to think that they'll have a Tesla specific section. If so, I guess my question is, you think if there are parents that are interested in getting their children into that platform, that would be a good option?
So far, it's only Del Valley ISD as a thank you for that town letting Elon build the factory there. So yeah, I think it's going to do great things for Del Valley ISD. People initially complained about the 68 million in tax abatements, but you've got to pay that in to get back some of that rebate, and it's still a net positive for the school district. So they're going to get a greater amount of money coming into the school district. In addition to that program specific to Tesla, sounds like a win-win to me. And I think you're going to see Del Valley really become a pretty desirable school district going forward. Certainly the high school program's unique. So if you've got a kid that's really into engineering, once loves Elon, big fan, wants to get into something straight out of school, would you consider, going to Del Valley ISD and getting into the high school there? I mean, it's kind of a straight shot into the factory. So really cool opportunity.
You know what I like about that so much? That whether or not it's controversial, the job itself requires that many people are on site. And so that physically builds Austin, because that's what we talk about a lot. If on this channel, especially, if people can work anywhere or live anywhere, then why would they choose Austin? They're choosing Austin for this purpose.
One thing I want to note about that is we're seeing a lot of inventory in our market right now. And we could speculate about this later, but how much that inventory is people that came out here under the guise of work from home and work anywhere, spent months and months and months building their home out, or getting a new construction, and now they have to put it back on the market, or they're having to put it on the market because they're getting relocated back. Thanks for watching this short of the Real Amigos podcast. For more live streams, hit here. For more clips, hit here. We'll catch you on the next one.